All right, so you're prepping for a head workshop interview.
And you want to really knock their socks off?
You want to make a great impression.
We've got you covered.
We do. We've got a deep dive today into RoleCatcher's insights.
Specifically their career guide and their interview guide.
Really, really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
We're going to uncover some surprising things about this role. I think
so.
it's way more than just hammering and sawing.
Absolutely.
We're going to equip you with the knowledge and strategies to tackle those tough interview questions.
That's right.
Plus, we'll explore how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an extra edge.
It really is a secret weapon.
Like a secret weapon.
This is your crash course.
Think of this as a crash course.
To interview success.
To interview success, let's get started.
Okay.
Let's start by setting the stage.
Okay.
What exactly does a head of workshop do?
Well, it's more than meets the eye.
I bet.
You're not just building things.
Right.
You're a conductor of a creative orchestra bringing artistic visions to life.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you're coordinating specialized workshops, you're managing budgets.
Resources, schedules.
It sounds like a very demanding role.
It is very demanding.
Wow, to really understand what you're getting into.
Right.
Let's imagine a typical day.
Okay, let's do that.
What would that look like?
Well, you might start by reviewing blueprints for a new stage set.
Okay.
You might then meet with designers to discuss modifications.
Ah.
Later, you could be leading a team of technicians, troubleshooting a tricky construction problem.
Oh, wow.
And then wrapping up the day
Yeah.
by finalizing the workshop budget for the next production.
That is a lot.
That's a lot to juggle.
We need that unique blend of creative vision and organizational skills.
Absolutely. That's what makes this role so special.
I love that. So let's talk about what you need to ace that interview.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Let's dive into the interview questions.
Okay.
All right, don't worry. We've got some strategies to help you tackle even the toughest ones.
That's right.
Ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's say the interviewer throws you this curveball.
Okay.
Tell me about a time you had to adapt to a demanding artist's creative vision.
Oh, that is a tricky one.
Oh, that's a tough one. How should our listener approach this?
The key here is to showcase your flexibility and problem-solving skills.
Okay.
So think of a specific example where you faced a similar situation.
Right.
Maybe the artist wanted a last-minute change to a set piece, or their vision required some seriously out-of-the-box thinking.
So a concrete example is key.
That's right. Don't just talk in generalities.
Right.
Walk them through the challenges, how you collaborated with the artist and the team, and how you brought that vision to life successfully.
And don't forget to highlight the positive outcome.
Right. Show them you can handle even the most demanding personalities.
Well, what about those potential follow-up questions?
Oh, they'll definitely have some follow-up.
What could those be?
They might ask, what did you learn from that experience, or how would you approach a similar situation differently now?
So it's always a good idea to think one step ahead and anticipate those curveballs.
Right.
Now let's move on to another challenging question.
Okay.
How would you handle a safety issue during a live performance?
Talk about high pressure.
High pressure.
This one's all about demonstrating that you prioritize safety above everything else.
Absolutely.
The interviewer wants to see your quick thinking, your leadership skills, and your knowledge of safety protocols.
So how should our listener approach this one?
Start by acknowledging the gravity of the situation.
Okay.
You can say something like, safety is absolutely paramount in a live performance environment.
Okay.
Then outline a clear plan of action.
What would that sound like?
It might involve assessing the risk, potentially stopping the performance, evacuating the area if necessary, and following established safety procedures.
Okay.
Be specific about the steps you would take and demonstrate a calm and collected approach.
It's about showing that you don't panic.
Exactly.
You have a system you can lead under pressure.
That's right.
What about potential follow-ups for this one?
Oh, they'll have some.
What do you think?
They might ask, have you ever encountered a similar situation? Or how would you communicate with the audience and performers during an emergency?
Great examples. It's all about being prepared for those follow-ups.
Absolutely.
Showing that you can handle a crisis effectively.
Right.
Now let's tackle a question that often throws people off.
Okay, I'm ready.
Walk me through your process for managing a workshop budget.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
This is where your organizational skills and financial savvy come into play.
Absolutely.
They want to see that you can handle financial responsibility.
Yes.
And allocate resources wisely.
That's right.
So how do you recommend our listeners structures their answer?
Start by outlining your general approach to budgeting.
Okay.
Maybe you use a specific software program or a particular method.
Okay.
Then walk them through the key steps you take,
Okay.
like forecasting costs, tracking expenses and staying within allocated funds.
It's about showing a systematic approach
Absolutely.
and meticulous attention to detail.
That's right.
Don't be afraid to use real-world examples from your previous experience.
Great point.
What could that sound like?
For instance, you could say, in my previous role, I successfully managed a workshop budget of amount for production name, and I stayed within budget while delivering high-quality results.
I love that that's a great way to quantify your accomplishments.
Yes. Show them the numbers.
But what about those pesky follow-ups?
Oh, they'll have them.
I'm sure they will.
They might ask you about a time you had to make tough budget decisions, how you prioritize spending, or how you handle unexpected cost overruns.
So it's crucial to be prepared to discuss those difficult scenarios.
That's right.
And show that you can make sound financial judgments.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to another question that often comes up in head of workshop interviews.
Okay.
Tell me about a time a project went off track
Uh-oh.
and how you handled it.
Yeah, this one's all about your problem-solving skills and, more importantly, your ability to learn from mistakes.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Right.
But it's how you handle those setbacks that really matters.
Exactly. The key here is to be honest and transparent.
Right.
Don't try to sugarcoat or hide your mistakes.
Own it.
Instead, choose an example where you faced a genuine challenge.
Yeah.
And walk the interviewer through the steps you took to get the project back on track.
It's about showing that you can own your mistakes, learn from them, and come back stronger.
Absolutely. Focus on the positive.
Okay.
Highlight what you learned from the experience and how it made you a better leader and problem solver.
So turn that failure into a valuable learning experience.
That's right.
But what about those dreaded follow-up questions?
Oh, they'll have some.
What do you think?
They might ask, what would you do differently next time? Or how did this experience affect your team?
So always be ready to discuss the lessons learned
Absolutely.
and how you've grown from your mistakes.
That's right.
Okay, let's move on to another question that can be a bit tricky.
Okay.
How would you describe your leadership style?
Oh, this one's a bit abstract.
It can feel a bit abstract, right?
It cared, but it's a crucial question
Okay.
because it reveals a lot about how you would manage a team and create a positive work environment.
So how do you recommend tackling this one?
Well, first think about what kind of leader you are.
Okay.
Are you collaborative? Are you more directive? Are you a mentor? There are many different styles, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
The key is to be authentic and showcase your strengths.
So don't try to be someone you're not.
Exactly.
Just be yourself and let your genuine leadership qualities shine through.
That's right.
Once you've identified your style, use concrete examples to illustrate it.
Great point.
What would that sound like?
For instance, you could say, I believe in empowering my team members to take ownership of their work, but I also provide clear guidance and support when needed.
I love that that's a great way to balance delegation with support.
Yeah, find that balance.
But what about potential follow-up questions?
Oh, they'll have them.
I bet.
They might ask, can you give me an example of a time you had to motivate your team? Or how do you handle conflict within a team?
So it's important to be ready to discuss specific scenarios
Absolutely.
and how you put your leadership style into practice.
That's right.
All right, let's move on to another question that often pops up.
Okay.
Tell me about a time you had to delegate a task to someone else.
Ah, delegation, classic leadership skill.
This one is all about assessing your ability to trust your team,
Right?
communicate effectively, and manage workloads efficiently.
Absolutely.
So how should our listener approach this question?
Start by choosing a specific example where you successfully delegated a task.
Okay.
Briefly describe the task, why you chose to delegate it, and who you assigned it to.
Okay.
Then focus on the process.
So paint a clear picture of the situation.
Yes, explain how you clearly communicated the task, provided the necessary resources and support, and followed up to ensure everything was on track. It's about showing that you don't just dump tasks on people, but rather empower them to succeed.
I love that.
Yeah.
And highlight the positive outcome.
Absolutely.
Did the task get completed successfully?
Right.
Did it free up your time to focus on other priorities?
Exactly. But be ready for those follow-up questions.
Of course. What do you think?
They might ask, how do you choose who to delegate tasks to? Or what do you do if someone struggles with a delegated task?
So be prepared to discuss your delegation strategies and how you handle potential roadblocks.
That's right.
Okay. Let's move on to another question that can be a bit tricky.
Okay.
How do you handle criticism?
Ooh, this one can feel a bit personal.
It can, but it's an important question.
It is.
Because it reveals a lot about your self-awareness and professionalism.
Right.
No one likes to be criticized, but it's an inevitable part of any job.
Absolutely.
The key is to show that you can handle it gracefully and use it as an opportunity for growth.
That's right. Start by acknowledging that receiving criticism is part of any job. You can say something like, I believe feedback is essential for improvement, and I welcome constructive criticism.
That sets the right tone.
Yeah.
It shows that you're open to feedback and that you're not defensive.
Exactly.
Then share an example of a time you received criticism and how you handled it.
Right.
Explain how you listened attentively, considered the feedback objectively, and took steps to improve.
It's about turning a potentially negative situation into a positive learning experience.
I love that.
Precisely.
And if possible, highlight how you use the feedback to achieve better results.
Great point.
But of course, there might be follow-up questions.
Oh, there will be.
What do you think?
They might ask, what's the most difficult criticism you've ever received? Or how do you handle criticism that you feel is unfair?
So be prepared to discuss those challenging scenarios.
Right.
And show that you can maintain professionalism and composure.
Absolutely.
Even when faced with tough feedback.
That's right.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about career paths.
Okay, I like this.
You mentioned RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about the different stages of a head of workshop career.
Oh, yeah. There's a typical progression.
What does that look like?
Well, RoleCatcher outlines that you might start as a workshop assistant, helping with basic tasks like preparing stage elements and managing tools.
Right.
Then you move up to workshop technician, where you're actually constructing and building those elements based on the designer's vision.
It's like climbing the ladder of creativity.
That's right.
What comes after that?
Next up is workshop supervisor.
Okay.
At this stage, you're not just building things yourself. You're overseeing a whole team of technicians and assistants, making sure everything runs smoothly and on schedule.
Sounds like a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility.
What's the final step in this journey?
Well, the pinnacle is, of course, becoming the head of workshop.
There you go.
You're the maestro, coordinating all workshop activities, collaborating closely with designers, managing budgets and resources, and ensuring those artistic visions are brought to life flawlessly.
It's amazing to see how the responsibilities grow with each stage.
It is.
But I bet our listeners are wondering.
What are they wondering?
What are some of the specific skills they need to master along the way?
Well, beyond the technical know-how, in fine arts design and even a bit of computer skills, there are some crucial soft skills that will help you excel.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay. Communication is key.
Okay.
Especially when you're collaborating with designers, managing a team, and resolving conflicts diplomatically.
Makes sense.
You need to articulate your ideas clearly, listen effectively, and build strong relationships.
What else?
Problem solving is another big one.
I bet.
You'll inevitably run into unexpected challenges.
Right.
Whether it's a design flaw, a material shortage, or a last-minute change request.
Yeah.
Being able to think on your feet, come up with creative solutions, and stay calm under pressure is essential.
So it's a combination of technical expertise and those all-important people skills.
Absolutely. You need both.
Speaking of skills,
let's
dive back into those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
We've covered some tough ones.
We have.
But I'm sure there are more lurking out there.
Oh, there are plenty more.
What else do we have?
Let's tackle another challenging question that often comes up.
Okay.
Why are you interested in this particular role?
Okay.
Now, this one might seem straightforward, but it's crucial to go beyond the obvious.
Right.
And really showcase your passion and alignment with the specific organization and role.
So don't just give a generic answer about liking to work with your hands.
No, they've heard that before.
Or being creative.
Right.
They want to see that you've done your research.
Absolutely.
And that you genuinely see yourself thriving in this specific environment.
That's right.
So how should our listener approach this one?
Start by expressing your genuine interest and excitement for the role.
Okay.
Maybe it's the opportunity to work on innovative productions, collaborate with renowned designers, or lead a talented team of technicians.
It's about conveying your genuine interest and excitement.
Exactly.
And connecting your skills and experience to the specific requirements of the role.
That's right. Highlight how your qualifications and accomplishments align with their needs and how you can contribute to their success.
So it's about showing that you're not just looking for any job.
No.
But rather that you see this as a perfect fit for your skills and aspirations.
That's right.
And don't forget to personalize your answer.
Good point.
Mention something specific about the organization that resonates with you, whether it's their mission, their reputation, or a particular project they've worked on.
That shows you've done your homework.
It shows you've done your homework
Yeah.
and that you genuinely see yourself as part of their team.
That's right.
But, they might have some follow-up questions.
Oh, they will.
What do you think?
They might ask, what do you know about our organization, or where do you see yourself in 5 years? They're trying to gauge your career goals and how they align with the organization's vision.
So it's all about showing that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a career.
That's right.
And you see this opportunity as a stepping stone to a fulfilling and challenging future.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of career paths and finding the right fit, let's talk about how RoleCatcher can help you navigate this process.
Okay.
Remember how their AI can analyze job descriptions and score your CV?
Right?
Well, it can also be a powerful tool for researching potential employers.
That's right.
Wait, really? Tell me more about that.
So RoleCatcher has a massive database of employers with information on their company culture values and even recent news and updates.
Oh, wow.
You can use this information to gain a deeper understanding of the organization you're interviewing with and tailor your answers accordingly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like having a secret weapon to help you impress the interviewers.
It is.
With your knowledge and insights.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. And it's just one of the many ways RoleCatcher can empower you to succeed in your job search.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
But let's not forget about the insights from RoleCatcher's career guide.
Okay.
It doesn't just focus on skills and career paths.
Right.
It also talks about the importance of personal qualities.
Yes.
And how they contribute to success in this field.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So what are some of the personal qualities that are highly valued in a head workshop?
Okay, well, passion is a big one.
Passion, though.
You need to genuinely love what you do and be excited about bringing creative visions to life.
I love that.
Yeah. This enthusiasm will be contagious and inspire your team to do their best work.
That makes sense. Passion is definitely a driving force in any creative field.
It is.
What else?
Resilience is another crucial quality.
Okay, resilience. I like that.
Yeah. This job can be demanding. With tight deadlines, unexpected challenges, and occasional setbacks,
Right.
being able to bounce back from adversity, stay positive, and keep pushing forward is essential.
So it's about having that grit and determination to overcome obstacles.
Absolutely. You need that inner strength.
So important. So it sounds like this role truly demands a unique blend of technical expertise, leadership skills, and those all-important personal qualities.
It really does. It's a multifaceted role.
But now let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay.
We've covered some tough ones,
We have.
but I'm sure there are more lurking out there.
Oh, there are always more.
Let's explore another question that often comes up.
All right. What is it?
Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult personality.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Now, this one can be a bit tricky because you don't want to badmouth anyone.
You don't want to seem negative.
Right. You don't want to come across as negative or unprofessional.
That's right.
The interviewer isn't looking for gossip or complaints.
No.
They want to see how you handle conflict, maintain professionalism, and find solutions in challenging interpersonal situations.
Exactly.
So how do you recommend tackling this one?
Start by choosing an example where you successfully navigated a situation involving a difficult personality,
Okay.
whether it was a colleague, a client, or even a supervisor.
Right. See?
Briefly describe the situation and the person's challenging behavior,
Mhm.
but without getting into personal attacks or negativity.
So it's about setting the scene without dwelling on the drama.
Yes. Then focus on the steps you took to address the situation.
Okay.
Did you try to understand their perspective?
Okay.
Did you set clear boundaries?
Okay.
Did you communicate openly and respectfully?
So it's about showing that you're proactive and solution-oriented.
Absolutely. And highlight the positive outcome.
Okay.
Were you able to resolve the conflict?
Right.
Did you find a way to work effectively together despite the challenges?
Turn that negative into a positive.
Exactly. But be ready for those follow-up questions.
Of course. What do you think those might be?
They might ask, what did you learn from this experience? Or how would you handle a similar situation differently now?
So be prepared to reflect on the lessons learned
Mm-hmm.
and how you've grown from the experience.
That's right.
Okay, let's move on to another question that often comes up in head of workshop interviews.
All right.
Tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one.
This one's all about showcasing your judgment, your leadership skills,
Right.
and your ability to weigh different factors and make tough calls.
Absolutely.
You're right. The interviewer wants to see that you can think critically,
Yes.
analyze complex situations, and
Uh-huh.
make informed decisions
Right.
even when faced with pressure or uncertainty.
Exactly.
So how should our listener approach this question?
Start by choosing an example where you had to make a decision that wasn't easy,
Okay.
one that involved significant consequences or required you to balance competing priorities. Briefly describe the situation and the challenges you faced.
It's about setting the scene
Yes,
and providing context for the decision-making process.
exactly. Then walk the interviewer through the steps you took to arrive at your decision.
All right.
Did you gather information from various sources? Did you consult with others?
Okay.
Did you consider the potential impact on different stakeholders?
So it's about showing that you don't make decisions lightly,
No,
but rather approach them with careful consideration and a systematic process.
that's right. And highlight the rationale behind your decision.
Okay.
Explain why you chose the course of action you did, even if it involved difficult trade-offs or potential risks.
And be prepared for those follow-up questions.
They'll definitely have some.
What could they be?
They might ask, looking back, would you have made a different decision?
Huh.
Or what were the most challenging aspects of making this decision?
So be prepared to reflect on the decision-making process, the outcomes and the lessons learned.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about something that can be really helpful in preparing for these tough interview questions.
Okay, I'm listening.
RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh, yeah. That's where the magic happens.
Remember how we mentioned that RoleCatcher's AI can analyze job descriptions and score your CV?
Right?
Well, it also has another amazing feature.
Oh, what's that?
It can provide feedback on your interview practice videos.
That's right.
Wait, seriously, that's incredible. Tell me more about that.
So it's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Oh,
You can record yourself answering common interview questions.
right.
And RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your delivery, body language, and even the content of your answers,
Wow.
giving you personalized feedback to help you improve.
That's a game changer.
It is.
It's like having a secret weapon
It's like having a secret weapon.
to help you perfect your interview technique.
That's right.
That is incredible.
And it's just one of the many ways RoleCatcher can help you stand out from the crowd and land your dream job.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
But let's not forget about the insights from RoleCatcher's career guide.
Okay, what else does it say?
It doesn't just focus on skills and career paths.
Right.
It also talks about the importance of continuous learning in this field.
Absolutely. This industry is constantly evolving, so staying ahead of the curve is essential.
That's right. So what are some ways our listeners can stay up to date with the latest trends and technologies?
Well, attending workshops and conferences is a fantastic way to learn from experts, network with other professionals, and get hands-on experience with new technologies.
Okay.
Online courses and webinars are also a great option,
Right.
especially if you're looking for more flexible learning options.
Makes sense.
They cover a wide range of topics, from specific software programs to broader industry trends.
So whether you prefer in-person learning or online options, there's something for everyone.
Absolutely. There are so many resources available.
I'm sure our listeners are eager to dive back into those interview questions.
I bet they are.
We've already tackled some tough ones,
We have...
but there are always more to conquer.
That's right.
Let's explore another question that often comes up.
Okay, what is it?
Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult situation.
Oh, classic.
Now, this one's a bit broad,
It is.
so it's important to choose an example that showcases your problem-solving skills, your leadership abilities, or your ability to handle pressure effectively.
Right, you want to highlight your strengths.
Right. It's your chance to shine.
That's right.
So how should our listener choose an example that will resonate with the interviewer and highlight their strengths?
Think about situations where you faced unexpected obstacles.
Yeah, okay.
Conflicting priorities or interpersonal conflicts.
Okay.
Maybe a crucial piece of equipment malfunctioned right before a performance.
Okay.
Or a key team member called in sick at the last minute. Or you had to mediate a disagreement between two team members.
Right.
Those are the kinds of situations that test your leadership and problem-solving abilities.
Those are some high-pressure moments.
They are.
So once our listener has chosen their example, what should they focus on?
Okay, well, walk the interviewer through the steps you took to address the situation.
Right.
Did you gather information? Did you brainstorm solutions? Did you delegate tasks?
Okay.
Did you communicate effectively with your team and other stakeholders?
It's about showing that you have a process for approaching challenges
Exact.
and that you're able to remain calm and focused under pressure.
That's right.
And don't forget to highlight the positive outcome.
Of course.
Were you able to resolve the situation successfully?
Right.
Did you learn valuable lessons from the experience?
Uh-huh.
Did you gain recognition for your problem-solving abilities?
Absolutely. But be ready for those follow-up
Of
questions.
course, what do you think?
They might ask, looking back, what would you have done differently? Or, how did this experience affect your leadership style?
So be prepared to reflect on the lessons learned
That's right.
and how you've grown from the experience. Okay, let's move on to another question that often pops up in head of workshop interviews.
Okay.
What are your strengths?
Everyone's favorite question.
Now, this one might seem easy,
It does.
but it's important to choose strengths that are relevant to the role
Absolutely.
and back them up with concrete examples.
That's right. The interviewer isn't just looking for a list of positive adjectives.
Right.
They want to see how your strengths align with the specific requirements of the job
Okay.
and how you've demonstrated those strengths in your previous experience.
So how should our listener approach this question strategically and convincingly?
Okay, we'll start by identifying 3 to 5 strengths that are directly relevant to the head of workshop role.
Okay.
Think about the key skills and qualities we've discussed, like leadership, problem solving, communication, technical expertise, and organization.
So it's about choosing strengths that will resonate with the interviewer
Exactly.
and showcase your ability to excel in this role.
Precisely, once you've identified your strengths,
Yeah.
prepare specific examples that demonstrate how you've applied those strengths in real-world situations.
Great point.
Maybe you led a team that successfully completed a complex set design project, or you found a creative solution to a budget challenge, or you effectively communicated a technical concept to a non-technical audience.
I love those examples. It's about showing, not just telling how your strengths have made a difference in your previous roles.
That's right. Let your experience speak for itself.
Exactly, and be prepared to elaborate on those examples.
Uh-huh.
The interviewer might ask follow-up questions to delve deeper into the specifics of the situation, your role, the challenges you faced, and the outcomes you achieved.
That's right. Be ready to tell the whole story.
So it's
Yeah.
all about having those compelling stories ready to share.
That's right.
Now, speaking of showcasing your skills and experience,
Yes.
let's circle back to RoleCatcher.
Okay.
Remember how it can help you tailor your answers to specific job requirements
Right?
and provide feedback on your interview practice videos.
Uh-huh.
Well, it also has another incredible feature.
Oh, what's that?
It can help you identify your career interests
Really?
and explore potential career paths.
That's amazing.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
So RoleCatcher has a comprehensive career exploration tool
Okay.
that allows you to assess your interests, skills, and values.
Okay.
And then it matches you with potential career paths that align with your profile.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like having a personal career counselor at your fingertips.
Exactly. It can help you figure out what you want to do.
That's amazing. And if you're considering a career transition or simply exploring different options within the field of theatrical production,
Right.
this tool can be incredibly helpful for discovering new possibilities and finding the path that's right for you.
Absolutely. It can open up a whole new world of opportunities.
It sounds like an invaluable resource for anyone who's passionate about theater
It is.
and wants to find a fulfilling career in this exciting field.
That's right.
Now, let's not forget about the insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Okay, what else does it say?
It emphasizes the importance of building a strong network of contacts in this field.
Oh, absolutely. In any industry, but especially in the world of theater, connections are key.
So true.
Yeah.
So what are some effective strategies for building a strong network in this field?
Attending industry events is crucial.
Okay.
Conferences, workshops, trade shows, and even opening night parties
Right.
offer fantastic opportunities to meet people, exchange ideas, and make those all-important connections.
It's all about putting yourself out there.
It is, don't be afraid to strike up conversations, ask questions, and follow up with people you meet.
Make those connections.
Exactly. What other tips do you have?
Joining professional organizations is another great strategy.
Okay.
Many theater-related organizations offer networking events, mentorship programs, and online forums where you can connect with other professionals, share resources, and stay informed about industry news and opportunities.
That's great. So it's like tapping into a whole community of support
It is.
and shared passion.
Absolutely.
I love that. And don't underestimate the power of social media. Oh yeah, social media is huge.
Platforms like LinkedIn can be incredibly valuable for connecting with people in the industry, showcasing your skills and experience, and following companies and individuals you admire.
It's all about being visible and engaged in the online theater community.
So important. But let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
We've covered a lot of challenging ones,
We have.
but I'm sure there are always more to explore.
Oh, there are always more.
Let's tackle another common question that can catch people off guard.
Okay, I'm ready.
Tell me about a time you failed.
Uh-oh. Everyone makes mistakes.
Now, this one can be a bit daunting because no one likes to talk about their failures,
That's right.
right? It can be tempting to try to gloss over your mistakes or pretend you've never made any.
I've been there.
But the truth is, everyone fails sometimes.
Everyone fails.
It's what you do with those failures that really matters.
Exactly. The interviewer isn't looking for a confession of your deepest flaws. They want to see that you're self-aware, that you're able to learn from your mistakes, and that you're resilient in the face of setbacks.
So how do you suggest approaching this question honestly and strategically?
Okay. We'll start by choosing an example of a genuine failure.
Okay.
One that had a significant impact on you or your work.
Right.
Briefly describe the situation and what went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but avoid dwelling on the negative or blaming others.
So take ownership.
Exactly. Take ownership, then focus on what you learned from the experience.
Okay.
What specific lessons did you take away from this failure?
Right.
How did it change your approach to your work or your leadership style?
It's about showing that you're able to extract valuable insights from setbacks and use them to grow and improve.
That's right. Turn those failures into learning opportunities.
Exactly. And if possible, highlight how you applied those lessons learned to future projects or situations.
Good point.
Did you implement new strategies or processes to prevent similar mistakes? Did you develop new skills or knowledge as a result of this failure?
That's what it's all about.
But as always, be ready for those follow-up questions.
Oh, and they'll have them.
What could they be?
They might ask, looking back, what would you have done differently? Or how did this experience affect your confidence?
So be prepared to reflect on the emotional impact of the failure and how you've built resilience and learned to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth.
That's right. It's all about growth.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the different types of theatrical productions out there.
Okay, I like this.
You mentioned RoleCatcher's Career Guide,
Yeah.
and I'm curious about the unique challenges associated with each.
Oh, yeah. Every production is different.
The world of theater is incredibly diverse,
It is.
from grand operas to intimate experimental plays.
Right.
And each type of production requires a specific set of skills and knowledge.
Absolutely.
What are some key differences that our listeners should be aware of?
Well, one key difference is the scale of the production.
Okay.
Large-scale productions like musicals or operas often involve elaborate sets, intricate costumes, and complex technical elements,
Wow.
requiring a large team of skilled professionals to bring everything together.
Sounds like a massive undertaking coordinating all those moving parts.
It can be a huge logistical challenge.
What about smaller scale productions?
Smaller scale productions like plays or experimental performances
Okay.
might have simpler sets and costumes,
Right.
but they often require a more intimate and collaborative approach,
Okay.
with a smaller team working closely together to create a cohesive artistic vision.
So it's about adapting your skills and approach to the specific demands of each production.
That's right. You need to be versatile.
It's also important to be aware of the unique challenges associated with different genres.
Absolutely. Every genre has its own quirks.
For example, historical dramas might require extensive research and attention to detail,
Right. You need to be historically accurate.
while contemporary plays might demand a more experimental and improvisational approach.
That's right. You need to be able to think on your feet.
It sounds like a constant learning process, staying up to date with different genres and evolving trends.
It is. You're always learning in this field.
Speaking of learning and evolving, let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answers to specific job requirements.
Okay, let's do it.
It's like having a personal assistant that helps you craft the perfect responses for each interview.
That's right.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
RoleCatcher analyzes the job description, looking for keywords and phrases that are important to the employer. Then it suggests ways to incorporate those keywords into your answers, highlighting your relevant skills and experience.
It's like having a secret weapon
It is like having a secret weapon.
to help you stand out from the competition.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So it's not just about knowing the right answers.
No.
It's about presenting those answers in a way that resonates with the specific employer and the specific role.
Exactly. It's all about tailoring your message to the audience.
So important. But let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
We've covered a lot of challenging ones,
We have.
but I'm sure there is still more to explore.
Oh, there are always more.
Let's tackle another common question that can catch people off guard.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why should we hire you?
Oh, the big one.
Now, this one can feel a bit like a sales pitch,
It can.
but It's your chance to summarize your qualifications and make a compelling case for why you're the best candidate for the job.
Exactly. The interviewer wants to see that you understand the role, that you're confident in your abilities, and that you can articulate your value proposition clearly and persuasively.
So how do you suggest approaching this question with confidence and impact?
Okay, we'll start by reiterating your understanding of the role
Okay.
and the key challenges and opportunities it presents.
All right.
This shows that you've been paying attention and that you've thought carefully about how your skills align with their needs.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just looking for any job,
Right.
but rather that you see this as a perfect fit for your skills and aspirations.
Yeah, exactly. Then highlight 3 to 4 key reasons why you're the ideal candidate.
Okay.
These reasons could be a combination of your skills, your experience, your accomplishments, your personality traits, or even your passion for theater.
It's about showcasing your unique strengths and what sets you apart from other candidates.
That's right. You want to stand out from the crowd.
Exactly, and back up each reason with a specific example or anecdote
Good point.
that demonstrates how you've applied those skills or qualities in real-world situations.
That's right. Let your experience speak for itself.
This adds credibility to your claims and helps the interviewer visualize you in the role.
It paints a picture of you in action.
But as always, be ready for those follow-up questions.
Oh, they'll have them.
What could they be? They might ask, what makes you stand out from other candidates? Or, can you give me a specific example of how you've demonstrated this skill in your previous role?
So be prepared to elaborate on your qualifications and provide compelling evidence of your ability to excel in this role.
Absolutely show them what you're made of. All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about budgets.
Okay, I like this.
You mentioned RoleCatcher's Career Guide,
Yeah.
and I'm curious about the challenges of managing budgets in theatrical productions.
Oh, yeah. Budgeting is a big part of this role.
In an ideal world, we'd have unlimited budgets and resources
Wouldn't that be nice?
to bring our creative visions to life.
Absolutely.
But in reality, there are always constraints to consider.
Always.
What are some strategies that our listeners can use to manage budgets effectively
Okay.
and make the most of limited resources?
Well, one key strategy is to be creative and resourceful.
Okay. I like that. Be creative and resourceful.
It's about finding those innovative solutions and stretching those budgets as far as possible.
What else? What other tips do you have for managing those tight budgets?
Prioritization is crucial.
Okay.
Work closely with the designers and the production team to identify the most essential elements of the production and allocate resources accordingly.
So you got to make those tough choices.
You do. Maybe you can splurge on a few key pieces while finding creative ways to save on other elements.
I see. So it's about making those strategic decisions and focusing on what will have the biggest impact.
Exactly.
But what about when unexpected expenses pop up?
Oh, that happens all the time.
How do you handle those curveballs?
Communication is key.
Right.
Keep everyone informed about the budget constraints and work collaboratively to find solutions that meet both the artistic and financial goals of the production.
That makes sense. So it's about being transparent, being proactive, and finding those solutions together.
Absolutely.
Now, let's shift gears back to those interview questions. We've covered a lot of ground, but I'm sure there's still some tricky ones out there.
Oh, there are always more.
Let's tackle one that can sometimes feel like a trap. Do you have any questions for us?
It's easy to just say no and be done with it, but I have a feeling that's not the best approach.
It's not. It's your chance to shine.
Oh, okay. This is your opportunity to show that you're curious, engaged, and genuinely interested in the role and the organization.
So think of it as a way to keep that conversation going
Exactly.
and learn even more.
And learn more about what it would be like to work there.
So what kind of questions should our listener prepare?
Think about questions that demonstrate your understanding of the industry, your insights into the specific challenges they face, or your vision for how you could contribute to their success.
So going a little deeper?
Little deeper.
Yeah.
For instance, you could ask about their upcoming productions, their approach to sustainability in set design, or their mentorship programs for aspiring technicians.
It's about showing that you've done your homework and that you're thinking beyond just the basic job description.
Absolutely.
But what if they've already answered all your prepared questions during the interview?
That's a great sign.
Oh.
It means they've been thorough and transparent in providing information.
So what do you do then?
Don't be afraid to say something like, "You've actually answered most of my questions during our conversation, which is fantastic, but I am curious about," and then add a follow-up question based on something they mentioned.
Okay, so you're still engaged.
You're still engaged, you're actively listening,
You're listening.
and processing the information they're sharing.
That makes sense. Well, I think this has been a really great deep dive.
I think so, too.
I think we've given our listeners a lot of really great information and tips and strategies to help them ace those head of workshop interviews.
I hope so.
Do you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom for our listeners?
I think the most important thing is to be yourself, to be authentic, and to let your passion for theater shine through.
So true.
Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you stand out and connect with the interviewers.
It's all about that passion.
It is.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
This has been a really great conversation.
I enjoyed it.
And to our listeners, good luck at those interviews. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Break a leg!
That's right. Break a leg.